Hi everyone, you're welcome back to the channel. Today my name is Lady Peace. If you're coming across this video for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please hit on the subscribe button and also click on that notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So today's video is all about this beautiful short pants I'm putting on right now. This is also known as short knicker depending on how you know it as. So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys, how I went about cutting and sewing these together just like this. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so that you'll be a member of this sewing family. So let's just go into today's video. Please help me give this video a thumbs up, okay?
I hear the beat, it's in my chest, got me feeling some.
Welcome back guys. So these are the materials I'm going to be making use of. I have my scissors, my tailor's chalk, I have my ruler, and of course my tape. So remember, this fabric is on fold as you can see. So this part here is a folded edge here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to draw up a line at this point here. This is not necessary, but I'm just doing this to serve as a guide for me, and that's because I'm just drawing this line to serve as a guide. Maybe when we are done you will know why I added this line. So this is it, this is how it looks. I'll just go ahead and make this bold because my chalk is wide, so I felt maybe you're not seeing this very well. So this point here is going to be serving as my waist. So from here I'm coming down by my hip depth, which is 9 inches for me, and my crotch line 11 inches here. So I'll use my ruler now to connect this into a straight line. So yeah, after connecting it, I'm still going to place my tape from the waistline. I'll come down to how long I want this short to be. So I want it to stop at 20 inches, but I'm going to mark 21 inches. That's because we are going to be folding in the ends of the shorts this way. So that's why I'm adding 1 inch to it, which I even later I went ahead to cut this out at 22 inches. So I'll just go ahead and connect these lines. Okay, so now we are done connecting the lines. The next thing to do now is to take my hip divided by 4. So for me it's 42 inches. So I'm going to divide this by 4. So this is 2. Here I'm going to now divide this again. So I had about 10.5. So from this center part here, I'm going to mark it on the crotch line. I'm going to mark 10.5 here. I'll mark on my hip line. I'll mark the 10.5 here as well, and then on the waistline I'm going to also mark 10.5 here as well. And after then, on the crotch line here, I'm going to divide that 10.5 that I had by 4 again. So I'll divide it here. That's for my crotch extension, so I'll still divide it here again. And I had about almost 3 inches, so I'll be making use of 3 inches here. So on the crotch line I'm going to come out by 3 inches here. So after then I'll use my ruler to extend this line to that point like this. So now I'm going to connect this line here to this point. So first I'm going to connect it between the waistline and my hip line first, this way, and after then I'm going to use my curved rule and connect from my hip to that crotch line. So guys, I just hope you are seeing what I'm doing here, because this chalk is not really doing justice to this. So I've gone ahead to connect it, and this is how it looks. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to take my round thigh measurements. That's the measurement around your lap. Let me use that word, lap. So just measure your lap, round it, whatever you get is what you're going to mark. So from here I'm going to mark my round thigh. So I had about 24 inches. So that 24 inches I'm going to divide it by 2. I'll divide 24 inches by 2. So when you divide that, you get 12 inches. So this is it. I'm going to place my tape this way and divide this by 2, so I had 12 inches just like I said. So I'm going to now impute that 12 inches point here this way. Now after connecting this 12 inches point, now the next thing I'm going to do is on the hemline, which is the length of my short, I'm going to first fold in this part. So first of all, I'm going to trim off this part here because it's not looking straight, so I'll just go ahead and trim off this part just like this. So after cutting that aside, I'm going to now fold in this part like this that I measured. I'll just fold it in like this. This is because whenever I'm making my short, if I don't do this when I went ahead cutting it, I find it difficult to fold in the ends of this short. So that's why this time I'm folding in this part first before going ahead to cut it out, so that when I'm folding the ends of this part, I'm not going to be having any difficulties with that. So here I had 12 inches. So on this hemline here, remember this is 12 inches. So on the hemline here, instead of marking 12 inches, I'm going to mark 11.5. I'm going to mark 11.5 there. So from here, I'll just connect it. I'll connect from the crotch line to meet that 12 inches point. And from that 12 inches point, now I'm going to connect it to meet that 11.5 inch I had. So this is all, as you can see. Now the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to go ahead and cut it out. But before then, I'm going to impute my dart. So I'm going to measure what I had in between this point, which is 10.5, and I'll divide it by 2 and make a point here. Then I'll go ahead and notch this pad for my dart. This short is going to be having a dart. So this is optional. You can decide not to add that to yours. So for this tutorial, I just want to add that to this, and then I'll go ahead and cut out every other thing I have here. Please note that the dart is just for the front pieces alone. So guys, before cutting out, I forgot to add my stitching allowance. So what I'm going to do is on this line here that I drew earlier, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. So I'll just mark 1 inch here. I don't want this short to be too tight for me, so I'm going to add 1 inch here till you get to the top of this top, and then go ahead and cut it out. So that 1 inch is going to serve as my stitching allowance.
So many times that I miss you.
So this is what I had after I was done. So let's go ahead and cut out the back pieces as well. So for the back, I've gone ahead to place the front pieces on it, and the fabric is also on fold, as you can see. So this is it. When I open this up, this is how it looks. I went ahead to pin up this part here so that it doesn't move when I'm cutting it. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to first remove the pins I have here, because we're not going to be cutting this on fold. So then I'm going to use it to pin on this other part here so that it stays in place. So the only difference between the back and the front is because we are going to be adding extra 2 inch to it. So the back is going to be bigger than the front. So on this part here, that's when I'm going to be adding the 2 inches. So here, I'm going to come out by 2 inches here. I will do same for this other part here. So I'm going to come out on this part by 2 inches till it gets to the end of this pants. So I'm coming out by 2 inches. Just notice the way I'm placing my tape. So like this, I'll come out from this other point here by 2 inches, and I'll do this till I get to the end of my pants. So when I get to the end of this pants, I'm going to now go ahead and connect all these points together.
I know how to call when I want.
After connecting these points, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So watch exactly what I'm doing here. So from here, after connecting it this way, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So guys, after I was done cutting this out, I went ahead to open up this other part because it doesn't have to be on fold. So now it's 2 pieces. Now I'm going to go over to my machine and stitch this down to the crotch line here. Please don't stitch to the end. From here to the crotch line here, I won't be stitching on the down part here. So take note of this, please. Now and for the front pieces as well, I'll stitch from here to the crotch line. From here to the crotch line, don't take it down to this other part, okay? So let's just go ahead and stitch this down together. So guys, I'm done stitching this down, as you can see. So this is how it looks. I stitched down. I didn't stitch this part, but for the front pieces, if you can watch this closely, you see that I went ahead to stitch this down to the end. I forgot that I was supposed to stitch just to the crotch line, so sorry about that. I'll just go ahead and loosen that up. So on this other side here, this is not the up, this is the upper part here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the length of my dart. So from here, I'm going to come down by 5 inches here, and then I'm going to now connect this with the straight line to meet that area I notch. So now I'm going to be coming out on both sides by ½ inch. If you know how to go about this, you know that we are trying to get our dart leg. So I'll just connect it like this and also connect this point like this. So I'll just go over to my machine and stitch down these parts. Please note that we are only doing this on the front pieces. We are not doing it for the back pieces as well. So you can see this other area that I went ahead to stitch to this part here. Don't stitch it to this part, please. So when I bring the back pieces, this is how the back looks. I didn't stitch it to that end on the back pieces. So when I open it up, this is how it looks. This is how yours should look like. So this is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my machine and stitch down the dart and then loosen up this part as well. So guys, I'm done joining this side, and I also went ahead to stitch my dart. So when I open it up to this side, you can see this clearly. These are the areas that I stitched down. So this is it. I also went ahead to loosen these parts here that I told you guys I'm going to loosen it up. So now I'm going to now bring the back pieces. So this other side here, I'm going to now remove this part, then place the back pieces here like this, and then I'm going to now notice that I didn't stitch my dart on the back pieces as well, please. So I'm going to now bring this my front pieces and place it right sides facing each other. So this crotch line here, I'm going to make sure to align these parts equally. Then I'm going to go over to my machine and stitch down this part and this part as well. This is what I had after I was done stitching down those parts. So this is how it's now looking. You might be wondering why the back is bigger than the front. That is how it's supposed to be, and that is how yours should look like. Don't worry. So now we are going to go back to the machine, and then I'm going to align this part like this very part, align it together like this and stitch down the side. I'm going to stitch it down like this, and then I'm going to now align it to this other side. Don't worry if the back is bigger than the front, and also align it and stitch it down. So after then, I'm going to now fold in the ends here. I'm going to fold it and then also fold in the upper part. So guys, this is how it looks after I was done, as you can see. So this area here, I went ahead to stitch down like I said. I also did same for this other part here. So this is it. And then for the top, I also went ahead to also stitch down this side. So at first I never wanted to add my elastic band, so in the process I had to just go ahead to fix an elastic band here on the short. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my elastic band on this part here where I stitch down. I'll just bring my elastic band here. So this is the elastic band I'm going to use. So my waist, my round waist is 37 inches, so I'm going to remove about 8 inches and then cut this elastic band at about 29 inches. I'm not going to cut exactly as my waist is 37. I'm not going to cut exactly on 37. I will just cut it out by 29 inches. So then I'm going to now bring my safety pin. I'll use this safety pin to pin this. This is to help me like pass this through this other part. So while stitching this, I forgot to leave about 1 inch space for me to be able to pass this elastic band through. So I'm going to be using my seam ripper here to just loosen up this part. In case you don't know what seam ripper is, I had a video on my channel already. I think that was the first video I did on this channel that I shared how things to get as a beginner into sewing. So I mentioned this seam ripper. You can go check it out. You will see what seam ripper looks like. So I'll just use this now to pass this through like this until it gets to the other point. So guys, after fixing it, this is what I had after I was done. So right now my pants is ready. You can see how beautiful it looks. I also went ahead to close up that part that I opened up earlier to pass my elastic band. So this is how it came out after I was done. So you see how beautiful this is looking. It's not really difficult to make this. Just have the passion and trust me, you're going to do it. Just engage on these comments and let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please try to engage on my videos. This is how it came out when I put it on. This is how it looks. In case you don't want yours to be this long, you can decide to make it shorter than mine. So this is how everything came out. You see how beautiful it's looking, and I didn't use up to 30 minutes to make this. So try this up and let me know exactly what you did. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you follow me up and be a part of this sewing family. You see how it's looking. I was happy about how it came out. So guys, I'll see you all in my next video. So bye.